So we're gonna do a quick review of the market today. Show you the plays that the best plays that I saw in my opinion. Um, and why they happen, entries and exits. Um, First we're gonna start looking at SPY. SPY is pretty much the only thing that we trade. We look at the other stocks just to really give us an idea how SPY is gonna move, given the fact that SPY is an EFT and it kind of consists of a lot of other stocks that cause it to move. So today, just in the morning, notice this right here. This little, I guess you call it a cup if you want. But if you look at the 1 minute, it came down pretty hard, lots of value. I pay attention to my oscillator, my Bollinger Bands, moving averages, and just key levels. So it came down, came outside the Bollinger Band. Excellent opportunity to get in the put right away. Given the fact that it pretty much chopped, kind of the price was pretty much stable in pre-market. Um, it was stable in pre-market, even though Jerome Powell spoke. Um, Excellent opportunity to get in the put right here. You saw it come outside the bottom of your Bollinger Band. Look at your oscillator value is super low. This right here, you got your K line right here, super low, which means buying pressure um, is decreased a lot, and it's pretty much tapped out at the bottom. You could have got out, got a nice little put right here, got into a calls, order all the way up here. This is before our open range breakout has formed. Perfect opportunity to get into a call right here. Ride that up for a little for a few pennies. A bigger move would have been to wait, but wait for your orb to form. Your 15 minute. I don't know why he does this all the time, but whatever. We'll deal with it. We will work through it. All right. So wait for our 15 minute candle to close. Mark your top and bottom. That's your orb. Wait for it to break at the top or the bottom. Once you get a nice break, once you get your breakout at the top or your bottom, you getting your call or put depending on what side it breaks out on. So we saw we had a nice little drop down here. Now, the reason for this being the best play of the day, the reason for this being the best play of the day, we're gonna look at Nvidia. Nvidia, um, key level for them was 170. Very key area for them was 170. If I had it marked here from previous days that if they lost it, that it was going to fly down into this gap right here. This is representing the gap for them. This is a gap for them. Gaps act as magnets. So when it came down to fill this gap, um, same thing. Same thing using Bollinger Band oscillator. Bollinger Bands right in the bottom of the Bollinger Band. If it pops out of the Bollinger Band, it's gonna come back in. That's a guarantee at some point. And then you pair that with the fact that your oscillator value right here, your K line, is extremely low. So that means it doesn't have very much more to go. Now, looking at this, we don't trade this, but we look at this because this is the number one component of SPY right now. It's number one is SPY, right? So seeing that Nvidia lost 170 going over to SPY, that's the main reason for this drop right here. This is an excellent play. Get in, got in at the top when it started to fail. It's just 200% play right here. Triple your money, about double your money right here. That's what I did anyway. Um, Same thing, you get out. Your oscillator is reading oversold. It could have went further. You had room, but again, it was outside your Bollinger Band a lot, so you knew that you didn't have much more room to go before it was going to bounce back in. It's kind of exactly what it did. Came back in, and then these are all the key areas I have marked from previous days. Right here is a range that it was playing later in the day. I was waiting for the breakout of this range to top and bottom for a call position, but I was already done for the day with this one. With these three moves right here, this candle, and then this move down here. Excellent excellent call and put options that you could have gotten to make some good money on. But anyway, 627.77 is a key area from previous days that I had trouble getting over, rejecting it. Pretty much chopped around it the whole time, the whole day. Ended up breaking out of that range I had for a little while, just pretty much chopped above it until finally they had enough positions put in to push it higher. I don't know why I do that. Okay, why isn't this locked? Um, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty much a chop of day. If you got on calls or any positions in here, you got ate up by Theta. Theta was just eating you alive at this point. No point in even really getting in a position when it's chopping like this. And your confirmations on that would just be um, looking how the wicks on top and bottom are all the candles that they're pretty much buying it up, selling it down, buying it up, selling it down, buying it up, selling it down. That's not really a good area to really get in or out. Um, your key area to actually get in would probably been when it actually broke back into one of these candles. Where are these locked? When it actually broke back into the orb, right here. Now, if you go to your smaller time frame, you're gonna look for the confirmation. Let's see, there's a confirmation being. It's not even there. Okay. Oh, we go. All right. So yeah, right here. You're gonna look for your confirmation of a retest. Came in slightly, came back out, and then came back up. Your retest would have been in this candle right here. Wrote it right back up into a nice little call position. Great profit here. I would have got out at the top of the orb because your top of your orb is also a key area. Today was actually the high of the day. Well, near the high of the day. This one candle is what 620. Yeah, that actually broke the high of the day. It didn't break out, but if you look at your oscillator values right here in the bottom left, right here, it's pretty much exhausted. So it didn't have much more to go. So it'd been a confirmation, excellent confirmation for you to get out. Um, don't really trade too much on the 1 minute. It's really just to see how it's moving. I really kind of look at the five. And it just never goes to the day like where I'm at the current time. Um, um, Excellent call position right here, not right here. This is a little after two, power hour. Let me change that. Power hour. Nice little dip down here. Doesn't this look right? Okay. Excellent put position right here. Been a good play. The calls and puts were cheap. I was looking at the 630s. They're like $5 per contract, and then your 627s are like $11. So it depends on how you want to play. You could have made some good money right here by playing this middle line as well. You can use that as a support and resistance area. They break below it, getting your put. They break above it, getting a call. Write it up, write it down. Real simple. We don't really overcomplicate it too much. Orb strategy. We use the orb strategy. We use a few different strategies to find plays in the market. And there's always something there. There's always something there for the day. Um, so we'll go ahead and look at our daily. I like to use the oscillator a lot to determine what's actually going to happen. And Bollinger Band, we get some of these lines off. So if we look at today, we pretty much did the opposite of yesterday. We sold up and sold all the way back down. Today we um, sold down and got brought all the way back up. So tomorrow could be give or take. You know, this is going to depend on what actually happens. Any news comes out. We're still waiting for some tariff news. The markets are really kind of fueled on off media right now. Um, our oscillator value is oversold. I mean, I'm sorry, it's overbought still. So we could still be seeing some downside. We have a gap down here that we could potentially fill. Um, and given the fact that when Jerome spoke today, he pretty much said that tariffs are going to affect are going to come in a little hotter than they expected, and that's gonna weaken some inflation, and then make things make things on the shelf a little bit more expensive, and at the same time lowering the market. Um, but I think if it gets too bad, he'll just do a rate cut, try to prop the market up a little bit, and be done with it. Be done with it like that. But tomorrow, kind of hard to tell. Kind of hard to tell. I don't think people have fully digested what he said yet. Um, But we go ahead and take a look at our picks. We have another gap up here. Look at that. The gap up here on the VIX, as if you don't know how the VIX works the opposite of SPY. The VIX is going up, SPY is going down. VIX is going down, SPY is going up. So right now we got a nice little buy down today. Nice little, yeah, on our daily. We had a nice little push down on our VIX on our daily. Um, and then SPY shot up towards the end of the day, which draws in line with how these two kind of diverge against each other. But I'm looking for a move up here in this 19 area. I have my alert set, so they'll let me know when these things happen, and I'll be able to look at other things and determine where what positions I'm actually going to get into. Um, Again, Nvidia. We'll go look at some of these Max sevens real quick. Nvidia, they need to break. They need to break back above 170. They break back above 170. We don't need this gap in here. I'm not marking this gap anymore. I don't need it anymore, so I'll delete it. They break back above 170, then they have a good chance to go up to 174. Let's say 173. I'm at 173 real quick. 173 ish. Um, Take that up real quick. They go up to about 172 something, 173, 175 something like that. But they got to get over it. Right now, it's probably going to act as an area of resistance for them since they lost in very clean fashion today. Like this red candle on the 30s is ridiculous, ridiculous, and given the fact that they're so heavily weighted in SPY, um, these moves like this are gonna dump SPY. Plain and simple. Microsoft being number two now. Same thing for them. This 30-minute candle was clear sign that they were kind of failing. We'll look at their 5-minute chart real quick. Let's see. Yeah, same thing for them. You could have played an orb strategy on them as well. Um, Came in, retested, failed. They got to rolled all the way down. Even early in the day, same thing. After the orb formed, came in, they tried to retest on this candle, failed, rolled it down for about 10 minutes. So it's still a good play here. Good play there. Apple was kind of the only thing that was keeping the market completely falling off today. The past few days, they been struggling a little bit. Um, they got a gap up here. I think that they need to fill. And it looks like they're trying to inch towards it. Maybe they'll hit it tomorrow. It's only about $2. Actually, a lot less than $1 away now. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But again, once they got up here, they got rejected hard. Um, Day before that, they really weren't doing too much. No real major movement for them. This day, you guys you could take it trade within a range. Nothing really major. Apple really has been doing too much lately. So not really uh, doing too much to affect what SPY is doing, except for today. Today they pretty much saved them from dipping down too hard. Meta, same thing. They pretty much got sloshed today. Knocked down pretty low, pretty low. 701 from 717. That's a pretty drastic drop on a dollar amount. But they just pretty much traded across. No volatility. When you see your Bollinger Band wide open like this, your top and bottom are pretty far away from each other. There's a lot of volatility in there. That volatility died off. They just traded across the whole day. Nothing really serious for them. Amazon is actually now number 4 in SPY. They kind of came up. They came up pretty rapidly. But same thing for them. Um, Same thing for him. They really didn't do too much anything major today, except for in the beginning when they started to fall off. Lots of volatility here, and they pretty much kind of traded across within a range. No real major moves for them. Um, PLTR, the shining star of the market right now. I expected them to fall off a little bit. They've been riding pretty high lately. Um, they've been riding pretty high lately, so they've been breaking all-time highs for quite a few days. Um, and I expected them to fall off today. Same thing for them. Nice volatility earlier on in the day, then they kind of just traded across. No real major moves. Nothing too serious. We'll close it out. Let's look at these dailies real quick. So it gives us an idea what actually is going on tomorrow. Take off these lines. So PLTR is still an oversold state, but they did buy out from their low today, pretty far. They hit my alert level down there for 145.01. Um, so if they wanted to, they could probably push higher, just off of a momentum play. Try to push back towards their all-time high. If not, I'm looking for them to actually go probably about the 140, something like that, something lower. In the next couple of days, reset their oscillator a little bit um, to make their premiums a little bit cheaper. Google, I don't really follow too much, but right now they are due for a pullback as well. Look at their oscillator, 95. Oscillator down here. Um, oscillator at 95, like they're already outside their band a little bit. I expect them to do a nice little pullback in the next couple of days. Just to reset the oscillator a little bit and really set up for the earnings. The earnings was tomorrow. Tomorrow at close. So yeah, that lines up perfectly. Um, that lines up perfectly. So tomorrow could be a potential red day for them with their earnings coming out. We'll actually be able to finally see how these tariffs actually hit the bottom line of some of these companies as earnings come out. Um, Amazon, same thing. They're high in their asset as well. They got room to go if they wanted to. But looking at the top of the band, it's like it's pointing in. Pointing in is bearish for me, but um, I mean they could push it if they wanted to. They could push it if they wanted to. I don't think they'll go much higher before they start to reject back down to about 226, something like that. 226, 225 being a minor psychological level. Anything below 220, um, and then they have problems because they have nothing really holding them up at that point, at that area. It pushed them into this little $1 gap here. Go to Meta, same thing for them. They're actually low on their oscillator, so that gives them room to go up. But since they're so low when it comes to the composition of SPY, they have to run pretty hard to actually really do some damage on the where SPY actually goes. What you see here, Bollinger Band popped out, pretty much damaged the whole candle popped out at the top here, um, and they pop right back in. It's kind of how the Bollinger Band works. Pops out, they pop right back in. Uh, Let me rephrase that. It's not really they don't really actually pop right back in, but you're pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be back in the band at some point. Um, 2 or 3 candles or whatever. Apple, they are they're still considered overbought, given the fact that we're above 50 on the oscillator. But they made themselves some room to grow. The last few days they've been struggling to go higher and higher. They need to get over 216. Get over 216. That gives them some good momentum to go into this gap. Fill it and hopefully do a gap for reversal. Fill the gap and then come back down. But they also have earnings. They also have earnings on the 31st. So that kind of falls in line with um, them hitting this gap and reversing. Perfect play right there. Um, Perfect play for them to set up to do that. Microsoft, same thing. They are not entirely oversold. I mean, overbought on their oscillator, but they are at the top of the Bollinger Band, and they have earnings on the 30th. So we'll really start to see how some of these Mag sevens have absorbed some of these tariffs and how it actually hit their bottom line. Given the fact that August is coming up, August is a very bearish month, so is September. And Jerome Powell already said in the next couple of months, that's when these tariffs are going to start hitting, coming back down to the consumer. So that should really affect the markets. We should get a nice little dip down. Unless they priced it in already. I don't think they have. This market's just been running too high to when they actually price something like that in. Um, Nvidia, same thing. They're overbought. Um, the little sell down today made some good room for them to be able to go higher. I don't think they'll go too much higher. I don't think they'll be hitting all-time high anywhere in the next couple of days. I actually think they're gonna do a nice little retracement back down to reset the oscillator a little bit. They have earnings on the 27th of August. They got some time for that. But again, if these other Max 7s start dipping because they have earnings coming up sooner than that, then they're looking to struggle to go higher and break their all-time high for the year anyway, for the year. Remember, they got a stock split earlier in the year, so their actually all-time high is actually in the thousands. But SPY, same thing. They're as overall they're in an overbought condition. But they did make room. They did make room from the top of their Bollinger Band today. Well, they're starting to break away from the top of the Bollinger Band today, which is a good sign to see. But again, with everything that's going on in the economy and the market just being driven by news, anything could really happen. Again, just play the chart, see what you see. Never going in on one indicator. Just play the chart. Just play the chart. Anything can happen throughout the day, and we just react to the market. We don't try to predict that exactly where it's going to go. We react to what happens. React to what happens. But with that, nothing really else on my watch list that I'm kind of really going over. Um, I mean, I could look at. Let's see. I mean, you could look at QQQ, but I mean, they're pretty much the same thing as SPY. They're at the top of their Bollinger Band. Um, they're really close to their all-time high as well. Again, when they start sliding, SPY slides too. So nothing really too specific there. Other than that, same time tomorrow. I'll try to do this a little bit earlier tomorrow. Kind of a little bit late, but yeah, video one down the hatch.